Good evening for everyone and also for Mr. Wijaya, my lecturer. So let me introduce myself. My name is Dewa Ayu, Istri, and my name is 21111711073, and I am from class PBIC 4th semester. So before we continue to the slides, let me say Panganjali Umat first. Om Swastiastu. So today I will explain about the extensive reading for translator, acquiring vocabulary for better dentition. This research was done by my lecturer, Igustimura Agung Wijaya Mahardika. So here's the table of the contents. Number one is introduction of the study, and then number two is research questions. Number three, previous study. Number four is discussion, and then number five is conclusion. So we will start with the introduction of the study. So there is a lot of errors that found in translation literature. It is almost all because of the lax vocabularies that acquired by the students or the translator. So the most common errors made by students or translator is to convey the correct and appropriate meaning from the source language to the target language. So the search language is the first language which the book or the literature are made from, and then the target language is the language that the translator want to convert the material or the books or the literature into. So for the example, the search language is Indonesian, and then it will be translated to the English. So mostly, as I said before, it caused by lack vocabularies acquisition. So vocabularies is really important things that students need to know these days. Almost all students should know like at least like 2000 vocabularies for the usual used in daily life. And then it is good if we have a vocabularies acquisition, because with rich vocabulary capacities we will be able to deliver a native like retention of text being translated. So for learners or for English learner or English students has to master close to 10,000 words and 15,000 words to achieve the native like language proficiency. So we will jump up next to the research questions. So the question is how to improve students' translator vocabularies to achieve a good uh, translated books or literature. So we will jump up to the previous study. So some research shows that extensive reading will help and beneficial for students to increase the vocabularies compared to usual classroom. So extensive uh, extensive readings is actually focused on how they get the information, and then as well it is mostly the teacher should provide a lot of book or sources for the materials or the comprehend that they want to acquire. So when they have a lot of option, then the students can choose whatever they want to read, and then in the end they can acquire the general meanings or information from the books that they read. So extensive reading could be from magazine or books or any kinds of literature that students enjoy to read, and it is not giving any pressure to them to understand or to comprehend mostly like intensive information, but it is more to general information and how enjoyed they are read the book. So it is extensive reading. How about intensive reading? So intensive reading, it's mostly like reading which is under pressure, and then the students are focusing on the grammatical and then used of the vocabularies and also the dictionaries. So intensive reading, it is mostly students read the textbook of their materials that already given by the teacher. So the books already chosen by the teacher, and then mostly intensive reading was giving a little bit pressure, which is the students need to know and understand all of the materials with one book or any kind the material books that already chosen, and they don't have any choices and any enjoyment moment when they are reading. So Ahmad 2012 found that students acquire vocabulary through incidental learning significantly better compared to intentional reading. So as we see before, the extensive reading was focused on enjoyment of the students when they are reading. So it is an incidental learning. When they enjoy the learning or the reading process, they will acquire more cultural information and also vocabularies and a lot more than they are learn from the intentional reading or the intensive reading. Here is the discussions part. So extensive reading can be defined as one involvement in a wide range of linguistically or culturally subject. So when the students learn or read by extensive reading method, they are learn a lot of things not only from one book, but they can choose whatever they like to read, and then it is increase their enjoyment and also the how to say the self-wanted reading motivation. So when they have the motivation to read the book, they will absolutely understand what they are reading on to. So to conduct the extensive reading successfully, teacher must follow extensive reading principles, which is help students to feel pleasurable reading experience. So below is the principles. Number one is the reading materials is easy. So the extensive reading should be has a lot of option. So when students see the option, they absolutely will choose the easiest one. And then absolutely teachers need to make sure that the material for the first timers will be easier. And then maybe in the next step, they can like upgrade the intensity or the levels of the reading or the books. And then number two is the material must cover a wide range of topic. So here teachers need to be choose one topic that conclude or include a large range of topic. For example, like the tradition of Hinduism or the tourism place in Bali, kind of like. So it's cover wide range of topics. So each students can choose maybe whether they took the Kutas Beach books or maybe like Uluwatu books. So it's actually all depends on the choices of the students. And then number three, students choose what they want to read. So as we want to involve the incidental reading comprehension, so students need to enjoy what they read. So absolutely they will choose what they want to read, which is have the easiest material or language used in that book. Number four, students read much as possible. So here students are giving the opportunities to read each example each week one book, and then after that in the end of the week the teacher will ask them to show or to share what they are learning from that book. And then number five, the purpose of reading usually revolves around enjoyment, information, and general comprehension. So when they are choosing the book as what they wanted to learn or to read, then they will get the enjoyment from the information that they will get. And number six, Reading experience is the reward in its own. So when students get the enjoyment and the improvement, or as well like the books that they want to read, so they will think that the information that they get is the reward of reading. So how we can build it as a teacher? We can, as before, we can tell them to tell the other students what kind of information that they read from that books, and then how is the experience, what is the general information, what they learn from that, and it is kind of reward for them. And then when they feels that it is a reward, they will continue to read and build a healthy reading hobbies or activities. And then number seven, reading speed is usually faster than slower. So when we build the moment when the students or the readers are enjoy what they read, the students will read like faster than what they don't want to read. So, example, as I said, like when I get the books of A and then I like it, I will read it very fast and then carefully, and then know the information better than the books that I don't like. Because when I do read the books that I don't like, it feels like so bored, and then I don't know what is that, and then how is it. So from that, then we can know that the reading speed is usually faster than slower. And then number eight, reading is individual and silent. So as the each student took their own books, it will be individual. So in the class, when it is happen, so students need to be silent so they can give their space, their own space, and also the another student's space to read by themselves. And then number nine, teachers orient and guide the students. Hereby, the teacher should also read and comes into the class and then show them that this is the class where they all of them can read, included the teacher as well. So when the teachers are reading, also as well as the students, and students will feel that this class is actually really beneficial, and then as the role model, students will follow their teachers. So that's also the point number 10, which is teachers is a role model. Next, five fingers rules. So the reading will be moved to the next step, which is from easy to intermediate, and the book should chosen by students. So for the students who want to choose the books, they can use the five finger rules. So they can choose one book, and then they can like open the books randomly for in the 5 pages, and then they should count what kind of words that they don't understand, and if exceed the 5 fingers, then they need to move to another books that have less than 5 fingers difficulties of the words. And the conclusion of the translated works from the students can compare the difference between the original and the translated version. So here, teachers also need to prepare one of the original books and then maybe another of the translation as the examples, if they already come into the healthy reading hobbies. Then the teachers can show the examples, and then they can compare the original one and then the translated one. So there they can understand what is the difference, and then what is the wrong part, and then where is the error, and then they can learn and then observe by themselves. The aim of the book club is to read the material for the enjoyment of reading itself. So, as I said before, the class will be conducted as a book club, which is consists of students and also teachers, and then all of them will be reading in the club and then enjoy the reading activities. Hereby, I will let you know the conclusion of this research. So, extensive reading approach might increase students' vocabulary mastery and improve the size of their vocabularies through incidental vocabulary acquisition. When students read a books by enjoyment, they will read it and then found some information that incidentally um, makes them like feels it is important, and then get the improvement of their vocabularies from the readings that they are enjoy. And then understanding the target language will be very helpful for the translator in delivering the meaning accurately. So when the students or the translators know the target language already, then it will be easier for them to translate it accurately, since they understand what is the culture and then what is inside of the book. However, if students did not pursue any translating career, a healthy reading habits is very beneficial habits, which is help them to acquire more vocabularies and they can use it in a daily basis. The implementation of extensive reading might result additional burden for both students and teacher. But however, from previous studies that have shown that the benefit of the extra burden make an extensive reading is a very attractive approach to be implemented by teacher. So, here is the end of my presentation of this research. If you have any question, don't be hesitate to send me text or maybe ask me a question later on when you see these videos. So hereby I will close this presentation with Paramasanti. Om Santi 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 Om.